Hey everyone, it's Evangeline here at eTrailer, and today we have the Hollywood Racks Destination 2-bike platform rack. We'll take a look at how it fits our 2022 Chevrolet Tahoe. So the Destination 2 is ideal if you're looking for something that's lightweight, compact, portable, and has a lot of versatility for your small bikes and your larger bikes. Because of the way that the frame mount is designed, this can carry even those smaller toddler bikes. I've tried one for a 5-year-old on this rack. The downside to this though is if you do want to maximize having a bike rack and want to carry around the heavy electric bikes, this does have a maximum capacity of 35 pounds per bike. Another downside too is if you do want to open up your hatch, you cannot tilt this rack away. You would have to take your bikes off. Now, let's take a look at the way this holds onto the bikes. You have 3 touch points. So 1 and 2 are going to be your wheel straps, and the third is going to be the frame mount. I like this frame mount design, especially with the series of affordable bike racks, because this can go up, down, left, right, and even around to accommodate different types of frames. When you want to take your bike off, you start at the wheel straps. Press a lever, and that disengages the strap, so now you can lift it up, and I like to pivot it out so it's out of the way of the spokes. This just makes it easier for you to take the bike off. Now with different types of bikes, there's a different way of holding onto them, and you're going to have to figure out what works best for you. I like to use like my elbow as a support. With this rack, since it's a bit higher up, I might need to wrap my elbow around the frame as I use my other 2 hands to take this strap off. Once the frame mount is released, I can then grab the bike and bring it over. This makes it nice because of that short mast. I don't have to lift too high up. I just need to go past that mast and then down, and then I'm ready to hit the trails. Now with this, you can see how it has a wheelbase with straps that can pivot back and forth for those different wheelbase bikes. You also have your frame mount in the middle with that mast sticking right up. So if I have a longer wheelbase bike, I would just pivot my strap back. If I had those really small kids bikes, I just pivot the strap forward. Having the wing style cradles helps a lot with that. If I wanted to open up my hatch, I would have to lower this mast. To do so, we have a knob here. Loosen the knob, take out that stand, tighten down the knob, and then we're going to pivot this mast down. You have different options here. You can use either the frame mount strap or the wheel strap to secure this. It really is up to you. That's a lot of what this bike rack is about, figuring out what works best for you and what you prefer doing. Now this is a compact rack, meaning it doesn't take up much space behind your car. We're going to measure from our bumper to the end of the rack by the reflectors. This is at 25.5 inches. With having a larger vehicle, if you have a smaller garage, space is at a premium, so fortunately, this doesn't take up much space. Next is ground clearance. Bottom of the rack to the ground, 26 inches. Center of rack to the ground, 30.5 inches. So definitely a lot of ground clearance with this vehicle. That's how high you're gonna have to lift your bikes up onto the rack. Fortunately, with that 35-pound weight capacity, you are not lifting heavy electric bikes on here anyways, so that helps with that. Now, what if you're just planning on driving around town? You don't need to take your bikes out just yet, but you don't want to take the rack off. Well, you do have a bolt and a clip here. I already took out the clip, so we're just going to loosen this bolt. Once the bolt is loose, you can just let it hang and then lift the rack up against your vehicle, get that bolt lined back up, and tighten it back down. Now, this step here is very important because you want to make sure it minimizes the shake of the rack against your vehicle. If you notice that there is a lot of shake, that's definitely something worth considering. You do have an 1.25 inch shank. There's an included metal 2-inch hitch adapter. It's secured by an anti-rattle bolt. The downside to an anti-rattle bolt is while it's easy to secure, you are still going to have a little bit of pivot up and down. Once your bikes are on there though, that weight will hold it down, so it's not as big of a deal when you're driving around. Still something worth considering. At the end of that bolt, you do have a lock. There's 2 keys here. This can also be used with a cable lock for your bikes. So secure both your bikes and your rack with this hitch lock at the end of the bolt. All things considered, with this bike rack on the vehicle, it does take up very little space. It's nice and easy to use. Unfortunately, we still don't have enough clearance to open up the hatch, but it is easy to store. You can even keep it inside the car when not in use. And if you want to, you can upgrade to the 4-bike platform rack. Very similar design, just a bit larger. There is a video of that on this vehicle here at eTrailer if you want to check it out. But right here, right now, this was a look at the Hollywood Racks Destination 2-bike platform rack, and you saw it on the 2022 Chevrolet Tahoe.